Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to make probably my favorite recipe. This is an Appalachian stack cake. I just call them stack cakes. You can call them apple butter cakes, dried apple cakes. There's a lot of different recipes. In fact, I have three. I have my Aunt Carol's, which is more of cake layers. Then I have Grandma Thompson's, which is my mom's mom. And then I got Mama's, which is my mom's dad's mom. And they're all from the Appalachian Mountains, which I'm back there now too, so kind of went full circle. So this cake was originally, there's stories about it that it was started as a wedding cake because people didn't have a lot of ingredients, a lot of food, and money to buy gifts for people when they got married. So each family would, they said in the story, they'd each make a one of the cake pieces and bring it, and then they'd use dried apples or apple butter or applesauce and put it in between the layers. And they always said the more popular the family was or the couple was, the higher the cake was. But I don't know if that's true. It's just one of the stories I've heard. So I'm going to use shortening. I'm actually using lard. It's a 2/3 cup of shortening, and I'm sure that's what they probably used back then. We're going to use a cup of molasses, a cup of sugar, 2 eggs slightly beaten, a cup of buttermilk. We got 5 cups of flour and a teaspoon of baking soda and baking powder and salt. Somewhere there it is. You can put that in there and just mix that together so it's ready. So I'm going to go ahead and put the paddle attachment on Mom's KitchenAid here. And we're going to cream together the sugar and the lard. Get that going. Sorry about the noise. But this is the easiest way to bring this here because it's going to be a thick batter. In fact, it's not a batter that you pour. It's more of a cookie batter that you're going to cut into pieces and press down into the cake pans, or as they used to do, cast iron skillets. So I get those in. I'm going to put in the molasses, and there's about a cup in here. So I'm just going to put that whole thing in. I think this gives it the best taste. I love anything with molasses. Grandpa liked molasses.
Oh, Grandpa would eat pancakes with just molasses on them. He loved his molasses.
Now, nowadays people put ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, different things like that in there. They really didn't have that back then, so they didn't have all those seasonings and spices, so this is all they used, and this is the way I've always made it. It's just the way they did. Get all that extra out of there. I'm just going to leave that right there so it doesn't get dirty. Okay, we're going to let the molasses get in there. I'll pour the eggs in. We just want all the wet ingredients together before we put in the dry. Now it's weird because I don't remember Mama ever making this cake. I'm sure you do. I always more remember Carol, my Aunt Carol making it, Mom's sister. And that's where I came to love it. Okay, we need a spatula to get some of this down. And this has always been a special cake. I usually make it holidays.
I think everybody made them at holidays down south. I know Mama always did.
This is just one of those southern cakes like hummingbird cake, coconut cake. I'm going to put 1 cup of buttermilk, not regular milk. You could use regular, but I like the tanginess the buttermilk gives it. And that's thick, so you want to get it all out of there. All right. Now we're just going to slowly put in the flour. Probably a good spoon might help. Or actually,
yeah, I just washed it.
I can use this.
Cup in at a time. And
I'm going to turn it off because I don't want to spray flour all over this kitchen. We're just going to slowly incorporate this. I do have the oven set at 350. Each one of these layers is going to be about that thin that we're going to pat it out in the pan. And they're only going to cook for 15 minutes. And instead of using dried apples, I've always made mine with apple butter because that's what Carol always made hers with, so that's what I've done.
Mama would use apple butter or dried apples. She'd dry 2 or 3 bushels of apples every year. I don't think anybody dried and cooked and canned as much as that little lady did. Oh, mercy.
Yeah, that's what I told you.
It cleans up, really.
Yeah, it does. It's already starting to get thick. I know you can't see down into the mixer. Get it all put together. And then you have something to put on here that we can put the dough out on.
Good.
And I've got a picture of Mamaw's handwritten recipe. It's on my website. I'll put a link down below in Greg's Stash Kitchen, but I'll put the actual link. And it was just 5 ingredients or 6 ingredients, said enough flour to bring it together, and that's all there was to it. All right, we're not gonna have to worry about cutting this like dough. This came out a little thinner than usual, which is not a problem. But we're gonna need cake pans. I'm gonna get this out of the way over here. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here out of the way. And you can see the dough batter is really thick. It's like chocolate ice cream.
That don't sound too bad.
It smells delicious. With molasses in there. So you got 3 of them ready.
I do.
Actually, we don't even need that, I don't think. We're not going to pour this out. We're just going to put it in there
Okay.
and pat it down.
Alrighty.
So maybe about a cup or so in there. I lost my spoon. Here's one.
My grandma would start cooking. She'd get up and cook breakfast, or it's nothing. When we were there as family, we'd go down, and she would make. She'd fix fried ham, fresh hog ham from they just butchered or so. She'd fix ham. She'd fry bacon. She'd make sausage. She'd fry potatoes.
That was just breakfast.
Oh yeah, she'd make gravy, biscuits, and I mean she made everything. And we would get done eating, and as soon as we was done eating, get the dishes done, she'd start dinner. And me, I just, okay, we'll put sandwiches and soup on the table. Oh no, not her. She would fix a full course dinner. As soon as dinner was over, she started her supper. And she cooked and she made her full course supper. I'm like, I don't know how she never gained weight and none of them ever got heavy. But she was just, well, I doubt if she weighed 110 pounds. But she was always a little bitty lady. But she was always busy too. I mean, I'm always saying, Mama, why do you can so much? One year she said she'd always can, then she'd call me to see who canned the most. Well, come on. You know she's going to. She canned 600 quarts of green beans. And I'm like, Mama, why do you can so much? Well, someday somebody will need them. And she would can, and then she'd turn around, and in the winter, she would quilt all winter. That was what she did, quilt or crochet afghans. And I'm like, oh, Mama. Well, the last year, after Paul died, she still kept up the garden by herself. She still did all the canning. And I said, Mama, why do you do so much? somebody will need it. I'm like, okay. Well, the last year before she passed, she called me and she says, Vera, she says, you'll be proud of me. I said, I'm always proud of you, Mama. I said, what'd you do? She said, I only canned 300 quarts of green beans. She's 94, I think. And I'm like, okay.
Only.
Yeah. She only canned 300 quarts. But she planted her own garden. She picked her own beans. She did everything herself. So, yeah, I was proud of her. But at her funeral, the pastor said, by a show of hands, it'd be easier by a show of hands if we asked how many people does not have one of Miss Bessie's quilts, Afghans, and though anybody's hand didn't go up, because down in Kentucky, when there was a flood, which you see there's a lot of them and everything, if they needed food or quilts or anything, call Miss Bessie. She'll have it.
Yep, and she did.
She always did. Well, we're going to put these in the oven for 15 minutes.
15 minutes. And they're going to be about the size of thick pancakes. And then when those come out, we'll put the remaining ones in, 2 or 3, whatever's left of the batter. But as soon as they do come out, you put the hot one down first, immediately put the apple butter on it and stack it. You want to stack it while it's hot to get the apple butter to kind of incorporate into the cake. And the best way is put it in the refrigerator and eat it the next day. We'll try to do that. I don't know if it'll happen. So we'll be back when we get these out and start stacking our cake. All right, so we're going to put these 2 in. We got the 3 out that we just put. Set these again. We'll work with this one first since it's here. Hopefully it'll all come out easily. Oh yeah.
Why don't you flip it over?
There we go. Couple of pieces of crumb there.
I know, I'm just centering it.
It's okay. And once you get the first layer down, we're going to use Mom's homemade apple butter, which I've already tasted. It's good. That's why my Aunt Carol said if you break one getting it out of the pan, it doesn't matter, because you're going to cover it in apple butter and put another one right on top. Close to the sides.
I doubt if your Aunt Carol broke too many of them.
There we go. And just push that one down, get some of the apple butter coming out in all directions. And we're going to put another layer. I always put a lot out to the side because I like to see it coming out after it sets. Like I said, we're going to let this set in the refrigerator overnight. After it cools, don't put it in until it cools.
Wonder how many of these Mama made.
I know Carol made a bunch.
Put a little more apple butter right in there, please. Yeah, Carol made a lot of them. My sister made a lot of everything. She didn't eat out. That's one girl that made everything. She could make anything though.
All right, so this one's done. for about another 12 minutes. Then we'll put the last two. This batter only made 5. Sometimes I get 6 out of it, but this it only made 5. So
couldn't you imagine going to a wedding and having about 20 of those?
I've seen them that way. I've seen them a lot thinner too.
Yeah.
But I've seen stack cakes way high.
But I've seen them do that and take a skillet, their biggest skillet, and make them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what's so pretty.
They usually made them in cast iron, so
Yeah.
that's what they had back then. They didn't have these baking
And then
pans.
you had all this apple butter like that just
oozing out.
oozing out of it.
You do have to watch it because it's warm, so it will start moving a little bit.
Coming out.
So.
And that smells so good.
So we'll be back in about 12 minutes and show you some more on there.
My daddy would just, he'd sit down and eat about 2 big pieces of that.
Okay, the last 2 are done. I'm going to grab them out of the oven. And let's get the prettiest one for the top, which let's switch them around. I like that better. That'll be the top. Now you can ice the top if you want. Well, ice it, whatever. Put the gel or apple butter on it, or you can even put powdered sugar. I don't put either. I just leave 1 top of cake. It's hot, isn't it?
A little bit. I don't know why.
Okay. I'll take the last bit out here, put it in the middle, and it'll smash out.
I kind of broke that one.
Okay. And switch that out.
Oh, that smells so good. Oh, yummy, yummy.
Now we don't want to break that one.
I'm going to let you flip this one out.
Oh, let me break it. Okay.
Yeah. See how pretty that is? Because we're not going to be able to flip the cake up and let you see that. So we'll just hold this up and let you see it. But that is so pretty. It smells so good. Just think how many of these have been made. Oh, he's going to do it the smart way.
No, I just want to be safe. Because I know me. I'll break it.
Do.
Okay.
Boy, does that look good.
Grandma and Carol and Grandma would love that. I think we did good.
They'd say we did good.
So this is an Appalachian apple stack cake, applesauce cake, apple butter cake. There's many different names, but it does have its roots in the Appalachian Mountains, where she came from and where I'm now at. So
Yeah, I was the only one born down there out of the 4 kids.
yeah, right on the other side of the mountain from where we're at, actually, in Pineville, Kentucky. So hope you all enjoy. Give this one a try. You will like it, whether you're from the Appalachian area or have family from there or not. This is a great recipe to try.
And if you have a different recipe, let us know. I'd like to try it too. And I appreciate you joining us today, and thank you bunches.
Take care. Love you.